Good morning, all. I am very happy to be in front of you. A number of smiling faces and attention is to a single point that we can very difficult to see in college classrooms, and many will be sleeping and many will be playing in mobile phones, and now that is some type of the audience in a college lecture classroom. But the attention to a particular point, so that we will be, but we will not tell them to listen to the class. Never we will tell them to listen to the class or listen to the point or listen to the portions we are discussing. They are important. We will never tell. But we will ask some questions that they cannot get from textbooks. Those areas they can get only if they are attending the session by the teacher. So we'll set some percentage of questions like that. So even if they are, suppose they have to get that from textbooks, they may have to sit and work for hours or days by referring. That is also good in another way. But to answer those questions, either they have to listen to that 1 hour lecture or they have to work for or read and refer for hours or days. Then only they can answer those type of questions. So I am first. I would like to congratulate this concentration and attention to a single point first. Then while talking about the science and technology, now yesterday in our institute, Cochin University of Science and Technology, we were hosting an international conference, one prestigious international conference. Usually that is taking place in IITs. Last time it was in IIT Guwahati. This time it is hosted by Cochin University. And in its plenary talk, it was about future engineering education. One of the plenary speaker, he was former director of IIT Delhi and former vice chancellor of Pune University, and he was mentioning about the need of science study for the engineers as well as technologists. The base is basically science and mathematics. So now you are studying the physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics. So he was mentioning that up to 12th standard physics, chemistry, maths, and biology, that is the basis of all the technology and engineering or whatever the inventions or innovations. That is the basis. And if you are sound in that, with that basis, you can develop any skills. And he was even criticizing the students or the new generation who are going behind the newer technologies. Suppose someone is telling that artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, all these are good or all these are needed, but without a sound basis of science and mathematics, you cannot contribute nothing in that field. So whatever be the newer knowledge domains, all these has to be we have to explore that, we have to dig that, but the foundations are science. In that sense, this Green Valley institution is conducting a science fair, Crescendo. I'm happy to be a part of this event and to promote the scientific thinking in children. And now, as the students, I am just mentioning few takeaways or few points that you can practice in your learning skills. The first one is that generally there is a question now everyone is thinking about, normally we will tell that now there are a lot of themes for sustainability in this, and also water conservation and science for humanity, science, environment. A lot of these are the terms we are generally hearing from all the sides. So the science for humanity, I will say one side, science shall be for humanity, or the technology shall be for humanity. And the last month we had a student induction program. I was one of the coordinator of the student induction program of the university. And we invited some notable alumni for some talk. So we just, available alumni, not very famous alumni, but just we were planning for 2-3 days, and we got some alumni around Kochi for a session, interactive session. So one of them was an IT professional. So we think that an IT professional, so he will be coding something and they will produce some product. But in between his speech, he was speaking only for 15 minutes, but he stopped 2 times his speech. And he was not able to complete his speech. He was crying in front of the mic. So then he explained that even we cannot completely digest what he told because of that feelings. What he was trying to express was that his mother was suffering from a kidney disease, and every week 2 or 3 times he has to take her to a dialysis center. And most of the dialysis centers are not having a doctor for attending each patient. There will be a nurse or someone will be there, but a one-to-one doctor attention is not there. But there are some hospitals, there one-to-one or one doctor is there for dialysis patient, but that is too expensive. And every week he has to go 3 times. So he was unable to take his mother to such type of a dialysis center where one doctor is there to attend one patient. But now he is working, he was explained that now he is working in a project to implement through IoT techniques and AI-based techniques to attend every patient in a, suppose 10-15 patients are there in a dialysis center, and there will be some sensors and some cameras and some technology will be there, and these will be transmitted to some other place or in some other world, some other country, one doctor is sitting, and he will get from the movements of the person, or from suppose the person is having some difficulties, that will be sensed from the bed and from their eyes as well as from the body movements. That means this patient is having some difficulty, and that will be converted to a doctor. That means a doctor at a farther place can attend 15 or 20 patients, and the prescription will be coming to the bed. That means that nurse can take that prescription and give the patient all the medicine. So he is now working in that project. And the reason or motivation for working in that project is his mother. He couldn't do what he couldn't do for his mother. So that is one side of the science for humanity. And the science shall be for the humanity. Then there is another question is there. Whether I was attending last month one workshop at the University of Calicut on translational research. That means research to translate the research into something beneficial for the humanity, and also to some startups and business, etc. A lot of discussion were there. Some of the faculty in between we were discussing during this food or the lunch period was that whether all the research all the science should be for the humanity, and whether something we are doing that should be some results or something like that, or some direct application to the humanity. No, it is not like that. So you can do so that is insisting all the science should be purely for humanity. That is also not justice, because some areas are there in science, pure theoretical areas and some pure theorems. But that sometimes the person who developed that theorems, he cannot understand, especially in mathematics, Mubin will be knowing, that person cannot understand what are the implications or what are the applications of those theorems later. And some of the mathematical theorems developed after its development to 1 or 2 centuries later only, it was used in some other technologies. That means pure science as such itself is having, suppose no direct benefit for the humanity, then also there are certain applications may come later. So science itself can grow as such without these humanity considerations. That is one point. And then another point is that as a students, you should have a feel and interest to visit the science centers, research centers around us. So whenever we are getting a chance from school or from home, you try to visit some science centers and research centers. Now a lot of science centers are around us. And our university is having one Center for Science in Society, CSIS, and a science park is there. Almost 100 experiments are there that is usable for these high school students. Physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology in this area, astronomy, different areas. Almost 100 experiments are there. And one day attachment program is there. Students can come one day morning and they can leave after doing all these experiments. So such centers are there in many places. And also just near to us, a lot of research centers are there. And that means where higher studies are, or you can do research in many areas. Very near. Suppose we are during the last June, I was attending a conference. Since one of the theme is water conservation, I was attending a 3-day international conference at CWRDM on water. The theme was water. CWRDM is Center for Water Resource Development and Management. That is at Kundamangalam, very near to us. There are a lot of activities are taking place related with the water conservation and flood modeling and river flow modeling, etc. Almost 50 scientists are working at a CWRDM related with water only. That is one of the initiative of Kerala, KSCST, Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment. Near to that, there is a Kerala School of Mathematics, where research in mathematics is going on. Kerala School of Mathematics. And then we are having near to Kundamangalam IISR, Indian Institute of Spices Research is there. Then one botanical garden is there at Pokkunnu, Kozhikode. And we are, last month I was interacting with one scientist from Kondoti, Dr. Mohammed Kunyi. He is working at KFRI, Kerala Forest Research Institute. So they are doing research on the forest and forest species, forest products, etc. That means all these centers are very near to us. If you are just taking a count near to us, we can see a lot of centers. During our school days, we had gone through, when I was in 9th standard vacation, the District Science Club Association took us to a science tour to different centers. One was Kerala Agricultural University, Thrissur. So there I could see how the tissue culture is doing from them. Still that is there in my memory. And and we also visited the Veterinary University and Veterinary College at Mannuthi, Thrissur. Now we are having the Veterinary University is there, Pukkod, near Pukkod at Wayanad, the Veterinary University is there. And last week I had a chance to go to the KUFOS, Kerala University of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences, as an examiner. So a lot of research centers are there very near to us, and we are having IIT at Palakkad, and very near we are having NIT at Calicut. So in these, how we can visit these institutes? There will be some open houses. In big institute, open houses will be there. And when I was studying for BTech, one of my professor was telling that how he chose that college and BTech at the Government Engineering College, Thrissur. He was telling that there, when he was studying for +2, there was an open house in GEC Thrissur for 1 or 2 days every year. So that day, all the laboratories will be open for public. So he went there and he got some attraction in that field and he joined there, he became their professor. And like that, some open houses are there. And during this vacation, in Kusat, we had an open house for STIC, one sophisticated testing and instrumentation center is there at Kusat. That is, most of the, suppose we are doing some research, you need to test something, then most of the facilities are there at a STIC. And there had an open house, 5 days open house for school students. Normally it is 365 days their testing is taking place, but they stopped for 5 days for this open house. And they invited application from the schools. So they just posted the advertisement of this open house, 5 days, 5 schools. When I got this, I just forwarded to my high school group, and one of the teacher from that, he is working at the Puttur Pallikal High School at Malappuram. He just called and booked. They got for Thursday. That means up to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was over. Then Thursday, then only one more school was remaining. So like that, whenever we are getting a chance to visit some places, some laboratories, etc., you have to utilize that. And then that will give us. So that means it is not through some test, etc. So generally people are telling that you can do some test to identify which is our interested area, or some there may be some supporters for that, but you try to visit more laboratories, research centers, interact with them, then you can identify where your actual interest is lying. So whenever you are getting a chance, you can use those opportunities. And finally, I am just bringing your attention to a single point. When I was, just here again, your theme is something related with the water. So I will, 2 points I may tell. One is related with the water. Suppose you are doing some technology related to the water, you are able to develop something for the water preservation, water conservation, or water supply. All these are very needed for the society. That means I was working to almost 2.5 years at Kerala Water Authority as an assistant engineer, and we can get the feel of the common people, and also that of our MLAs, MPs, ministers, etc. All this we will contact regularly for some projects in that area to solve their people's problems. And I still remember one of my friend. He was in a senior post at the railway, and some senior engineer at the railway. And when he got an appointment at the Kerala Water Authority as assistant engineer, he resigned there. It was a central government position with a good salary, and he resigned and he joined here. And then I asked him, why you joined here? So he was telling that in my native place, he is staying at Vallikunnu, near Vallikunnu. There are a lot of water bodies are there, lagoons are there, backwaters are there. But the point is that not a single drop to drink. All are saline. Then he was trying to, his objective is he joined this job to bring a project for his place. So we also together worked from 2-3 months, and we gave a lot of proposals. Finally, almost some 350 crore project is now sanctioned for that one. That means people are like that much motivation and dedication is needed. That will be beneficial for his entire people. That means almost 1 lakh or 2 lakh people in that area, it will be benefited. That is one of the advantage. So whenever we are doing such something for the humanity using our technology, that will be a lot of reward will be there based on that. And still, when I was working at Tirurangadi as this engineer, then people will tell about Avukakadar Kutinaha, one of the minister. So he brought some projects some 30-40 years back. So whenever you can able to do something for the humanity, that will be that you have to do in that sense. Now, another point what I was emphasizing is that since we were mentioning about water, with this single point I will conclude my words. My professor at NIT Calicut, He was the mechanical engineering professor, and he was my PhD thesis supervisor, Dr. Gulam Jilani. In one of his class, he was mentioning he used to take us about the fluids, viscous fluid flow, convective transfer, cooling with the fluids and water, etc. One of the topic he was in the class, he was taking class, and MTech students are there, some 20 students, and some 4 or 5 PhD students are there. And in that class, while talking about water, and he was explaining the thermodynamic specialities of water, how the pressure, temperature, volume, all these are varying, or the phase change is taking place for water, etc. And other substances, he is comparing the other substances. So out of your interest, you can search and find out what is the speciality of water or during the phase transformation process, or what is the speciality, or how the phase diagram of water is different from other substances. And he was explaining, and he is almost 60 plus years old, 64 or 62 years old. And in between, what happened is that while explaining the speciality of water, he jumped in the class. He jumped in the class, some 2 feet height. He jumped out of his exclamation or wonder for the water. That means the entire earth or is like that, or we are not sinking in water, or that is because of the thermodynamic speciality of water. What is happening to the volume of water when ice melts? What is happening to the volume of water? So that you can check that what is happening. That is only for water. So because of that speciality of water, the entire earth is like that. And he was jumping in the class out of wonder by telling that this is from God, and this is from Creator. And only by that, because of that, the water, he kept water like this, or he has chosen water like this for us. And I still remember that how he, because of these Creator's blessings to the humanity, he was jumping in the class. So that also should be another area of we should be devoted, and we should be identify the Creator behind us, and all these are important. Now, people, last week when I was traveling to Kochi, one of my high school mate, my degree mate was there. She's a physics teacher. She was telling about the state level science competition. She got some prize, and she was explaining, she was mimicking some mechanism of the lungs, how the pressure is increasing, decreasing, how the flow is there. So they made some apparatus. And then she was explaining that the speciality for lungs is that nature has made. That is normally the scientists will be telling that nature has made. So we have to think what is actually is the nature. And whenever the scientists or some scientific persons are telling that nature has made our lungs in this way, that basically that is the Creator he has made. So they are, because of their shame, they are not able to tell that it is a Creator. They are just telling that the nature has made that. And with this, I am concluding this one, and I would like to mention that this Crescendo 2022 has been inaugurated, and with these short words, I am concluding. Thank you very much.